seekers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Let the cards turn around. Mysteries we found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Maureen. I hope everybody had that amazing day yesterday and slept well last night and all that other wonderful stuff. So here we are, another day, and it's a Friday. It looks a little cloudy outside, but I'll take it. So I'm sitting here. So I really love this deck. So I'm sitting here shuffling. The only problem is that I don't know whether the cards are, however they're made, but this is the hardest deck. As much as I love the card, hardest deck I've ever had to shuffle. So, good morning, Jess. I was just sitting here saying it's like most of the times when I'm shuffling, it's like my chance to breathe. And this deck is just like, it's really bendy. So, but no, I'm feeling good today. Yesterday at Laloon, I had several people come in, but it was one of those days where it seemed like people were coming in that just really needed it, or just really needed to talk. It was just one of those really, really good days, and it reminds me why I really like the tarot for just being with people. Because people don't believe it when I say that I'm an isolator, but I really, really am. Good morning. How are you, Ginger? I was just saying. And so when I read for people, it's my chance to just, again, connect with the world outside. And it just seemed like the people that came in, the conversations were exactly what I needed to hear. And so, you know, I'm kind of grateful for having the tarot, doing the tarot, so, and for having people here. Isn't that nice? So, what are we doing now? We are just checking in. We are using the tarot as kind of like our mirror, or as I like to say, the universe holds up a mirror and asks us, what do we see? And using the tarot, we can take a look at that reflection the same way if you're doing meditation or anything like that. And here it's an excuse to listen to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean, and it's a reminder to start the day with a breath. You know, as you're talking today to people, if you see somebody stressed, ask them, or just look at their shoulders. Just look at their shoulders, and if their shoulders are up here, if they look to, just ask them this question. Nobody is going to be offended by this simple question. When is the last time you took a breath? And most of the time you'll see the shoulders will come down, or you can even explain why you're asking. Say your shoulders are way up here. Shoulders will come down, and then the conversation will go in a completely different direction. So, but sitting here, taking that breath, feet flat on the floor, butt doing the kitty dance, which means just like getting it nice and situated and comfortable, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed, and then seeing how we want to start out our day, seeing what we might need to know. Tower came up last night for somebody, and as I always say, there are no all good or all bad cards in the deck. And sometimes we need the revelations, and we need to see things for the way they really are. So, again, what we think may be something negative presented to us in life might be exactly what we need at the time to wake up. So, what am I going to do here? I'm going to make our 3 stacks, each one a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one of these is a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will lead down one path, and this stack here will be a totally different conversation and take us in a different direction. And this one will be in a different direction just by the top cards and the conversations that we have. So 3 different conversations, and today I'm going to grab the middle one, which I like to think of as being just right at the heart. A little extra breath in there. I'm going to do hour 3 and 1. And flipping each card over one at a time, like we're reading the pages of a book. So, what do we got on the first one? We have the Ten of Pentacles. So tens. So in the tarot, we deal with cycles of 10. And as I like to say with numerology, if it's a race, you know, we're going from 1 to 10. 10 is not the finish line. 9 is the finish line. 10 is what we do with the winnings. So when we have the 10 of coins, coins are about home, health, finances, and all those things that keep us grounded. This is where at the 10, it's like we need to think of where we came from, what we've accomplished. And again, it's not like an end point, it's a chapter. And so the 10 is like, what have we accomplished? And now 10 is just a 1 and a 0. And we can't live in the 10s forever. We need to make changes. We need to constantly grow. So the question is, how do we want to grow? And then we have the 6 of Swords. So swords are our thoughts. Swords are our ideas. And sometimes they're even our anxieties. And so with the 6 of Swords, 5 of Swords are always those challenges we have to go through in life. You know, welcome to a Friday. We all have these mental things that we're going through. But a 6 is when, maybe even when we find a little bit of gratitude. You know, even if we didn't buy the house that we wanted and we're renting, even if we didn't get the car that we wanted because we didn't have the money, we have a car. We have a roof. And sometimes it's just taking that breath and saying, you know what, that's a good thing. And the 6 of Swords is us mentally saying, you know what, that's a good thing. To the King of Swords. So, court cards. Court cards can be you, it could be me, it could be somebody we know, or it could be part of the situation. And when we see court cards, it's not male or female, you know, king and queen. It's masculine energy, feminine energy. And that masculine energy is when it's time to take charge of things and do things that we need to get done. And swords, again, are our thoughts and our ideas and things like that. So today, notice so far, we haven't flipped over the last card, but it's not like we're dealing with cups, which are about our spirituality, our emotions, our feelings. And it's not like we're dealing with wands, which are fire and energy and passion. We may get that in the advice, but right here, this is about just taking a look at what we do have. And it seems like I've been getting some gratitude spreads lately also, but taking a look at what we do have and finding peace in what we have instead of what we wish for. You know, again, like yesterday it said, you know, would you rather have everything you could ever want, or would you rather have happiness? You know, if somebody can give you everything you wanted, is that going to take care? Sometimes no. Maybe for a while. But we were talking about that last night. And, you know, you could actually have all the money in the world and a villa in Sorrento, and that sounds amazing. And yet, I'll never forget hearing about somebody who committed suicide in their village in Sorrento, and it's like, oh my God, why? And sometimes the 10 of coins, we finally achieve that 10 of coins, and we think that is what would make us happy. But sometimes it's just accepting what we do have, and then just getting into our boat, flowing down the river and not fighting the current, which then leads us to the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is just about saying, let's take a look at what we have in our kingdom, and let's be logical. And it's kind of like saying, let's put on our adult pants today and think about what we want to do and where we're going. But we still have the advice card. But the King of Swords is about taking care of things. It's like, sure, we can be emotional about things, sure. But it's like, you know what? If we have a bill to pay, if we have things to do, let's say we don't even have the money. Does that need to, like, destroy us? Or can we say, well, this is what the king would do. He would pick up the phone and say, hey, can I get a 30-day extension? But let's turn over the last card, which is the Fool. So what is the Fool? The Fool is, sometimes it's a good thing, whereas and sometimes it's like, you know what? Let's just go out and have fun. It's like, let's forget things for a while. Other times the Fool is when we want to ignore things, when we get so stressed we think that we deserve, it's like, I need a mental break. I'm just going to not care for a while. I may not have the money, but I'm taking that trip anyway. You know, the Fool is when we find ourselves not taking care of the things that we need to, not seeing the things right in front of us, instead looking around them and just kind of making ourselves oblivious. So today, it is kind of about putting on our adult pants. It's recognizing what we have. And again, the 10 of coins is not about how much money. 10 of coins is still about what we've actually achieved up to this point. And the 6 of swords is about letting ourselves consciously take a mental break. And consciously, by doing that, saying, you know what? Whether this bill gets paid or not, do I really need to run myself into a brick wall? Or can I find a way to relax? And then getting in contact with that inner king that we have that says, you know, maybe we need to make a list. Maybe we need to take emotion and stress out of the equation. Look at things squarely, because that's what the swords are. Swords are about clear vision, clear-sightedness, seeing things for the way they are. And let's put the Fool aside for a while. So today it really is about looking at who we are, where we are, what we have, and what we need to do next. So I know for me is that we have some things that need to, again, Pentacles are home, health, finances, and things like that. All the stuff the King of Swords takes care of. And so we have some things that need to be done around the house. And I don't like spending that money at all. So we had one thing that needed to be done on the yard. And now, you know, we have a couple of things because the house is from the 60s. And I don't even want to talk about it. But, you know, we may take out a small, second mortgage or something like that. So we can get things that need to be done around the house. Electrical things, insulation in the roof. These small adult things that I really don't want to do. But that's kind of like, instead of stress, it's like we were talking about, it's like, you know what? It just needs to be done. So that's my 10 of coins. That's my, You know what? We're just going to do it. And that's me being the King of Swords. Because trust me, I don't like being an adult. I like being the fool more than you can imagine. So for today, it's about taking a look at those things that we need to get done. And stop looking around them and look at them. Stop looking around the things that we want to get done and look at them. With that, I hope everybody has an amazing, amazing day. And I have to say, this deck looks really pretty here on here, doesn't it? I love the colors. And again, that is the Daydream Tarot. Even though it sucks to shuffle in all reality. But with that, have an amazing day, and I will be back here again tomorrow. Thank you so much. Oh, actually, tomorrow's Saturday. Woo! I'll be back again on Monday. Have a good weekend, and I will talk to y'all later.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. The stories we have found in the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears, written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. The stories we have found in the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears, written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. The stories we found in the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. The stories we have found in the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears, written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. The stories we have found in the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears, written in gold. Truth appears the stories unfold. Flip the card, turn around, the stories we found. In the shadows we dance, take a chance, take a chance. Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams, in the dark slate, nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around, the stories we have found. In the shadows we dance, take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures